Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into a question that keeps pretty much every founder up at night. How do you get the expertise you need to survive when you can't possibly afford to hire for it full-time?
Let's start with a number, a pretty brutal one actually, 90%. According to industry data, that's the failure rate for startups. And a huge reason for this is a series of critical knowledge gaps that pop up when a company is at its most vulnerable.
So the real question is, how do you beat those odds? Today, we're building the ultimate playbook for one of the most powerful tools in a founder's arsenal, the startup consultant. We're going to break down who they are, the critical moments to bring them in, and how they can seriously become a strategic weapon for your venture.
Okay, first up, the survival problem. Let's get right to the heart of why expertise is just everything in those early days. Here is the core dilemma, right? Imagine you're a founder. You've got a brilliant tech idea, but you need a CFO's brain to build a financial model for investors. Or maybe you need a marketing guru to craft your entire go-to-market strategy. The problem is, you need those senior-level skills, but there is absolutely no way you have the resources to hire a full-time executive. This is the gap where so many amazing startups just falter.
So, that brings us to the main event. What exactly is a startup consultant? Let's define the role, because honestly, it's probably not what you think. Think of them like a specialist surgeon. You bring them in to solve a very specific, defined problem. They get the unique pressures of the startup world. You know, the limited cash, the insane timelines, the constant uncertainty. They are not a permanent part of your team. They are a strategic injection of expertise right when you need it.
And this is where the role gets crystal clear. Just look at this comparison. An employee, they're long-term, on salary. An advisor is ongoing, usually for a piece of the company, for equity. But the consultant is a totally different animal. They're project-based, they're hands-on with the execution, and they work for a fee. It is a surgical strike of expertise, focused on a single, clear goal.
And their expertise can touch every single part of the business. One might be building the financial model that actually secures your funding. Another could be completely re-architecting your tech stack to handle massive growth, while a third is literally designing the sales funnel that's going to land your first 100 customers. So this is so crucial, the timing. Bringing in a consultant isn't just a question of if, it is very much a question of when you do it to get the absolute maximum impact.
Think of a startup's journey in 4 acts. Pre-launch, a consultant validates your entire concept. During fundraising, they're the ones who perfect that pitch that gets you funded. In that chaotic, rapid growth phase, they build the systems that keep you from imploding. And in a crisis, they're the objective, calm expert in the room helping you figure out how to pivot.
So the strategic why really boils down to this. You're essentially renting a world-class brain that you can never afford to hire. You get an objective outsider to see the flaws that you can't, you get to skip all the painful rookie mistakes, and you can tap into their network of investors and partners. All of that without the burn rate of another full-time salary. Okay, now for the practical stuff. You've decided you need one, so how do you actually find and hire the right person without making a really costly mistake?
This 4-step process is your safeguard. It's your shield against a bad hire. 1. Define the exact problem, not a vague idea, the exact problem. 2. Find someone who has solved that exact problem before. 3. Actually talk to their references. And 4, and this is the golden rule, get everything in writing. This isn't just paperwork, it is the foundation for a successful project.
You also have to understand how they charge. An hourly rate is great for flexible, quick questions. A project-based fee is perfect for a super well-defined task, like creating a pitch deck. A monthly retainer works when you need ongoing guidance during a big growth phase. And equity, well, it's sometimes used, but that's typically for longer-term, high-impact relationships that start to look a lot more like an advisory role. You've got to match the model to your need and your budget.
And just remember, this is not a forever relationship. The goal is a temporary, intense injection of expertise that's designed for maximum impact over a really clearly defined period. They come in, they solve the problem, and they get out, leaving your team stronger and smarter than before.
But, let's be real. It's not all upside. Hiring a consultant absolutely comes with risks, and you need to go into this with your eyes wide open.
The cost is the most obvious one. Let's face it, quality experts are not cheap. There's also a risk of becoming too dependent on them and forgetting to build up those skills within your own team. And a big one is cultural misalignment. If they don't get your company's culture, their advice might just fall flat.
Just acknowledging these risks helps you manage the relationship way more effectively and set the right expectations from day one.
But this quote, this is the key mindset shift. The cost isn't just an expense you write down, it's an investment in de-risking your entire company. The real ROI isn't just about what you gain, it's about the catastrophic company-killing mistakes you don't make and the months of wasted time you get back.
So we'll leave you with that thought. In a world where 90% of startups fail, often from a simple lack of specific knowledge, is the biggest risk the cost of hiring an expert, or is it the cost of their absence? That's a question every single founder has to answer for themselves.